69, September the 7th, and I am going to say it, today is going with the last Quarantine Diaries, now that we're moving to level, well, D2, 2.5, whatever you want to call it, from tomorrow. But Claire and I thought we would come and have a catch up with you with everything, because moving with the changing of the levels and the end of the sale and lots of information. Yeah, we had a bit of a catch up, before we've gone live, and there's still a lot going on.
There's a hell of a lot going on.
Yeah, I know. We sort of kind of feel like we're running around and chasing our tails sometimes. It's a bit bonkers. So the first big thing, good morning, everybody. It is so good to have you come along. So yes, we are, so you're at the shop today. So this is nice for you, out of the house.
Yeah, I'm packing today, helping the packing team out. So we're all taking shifts and it's my turn today.
Yeah, so it is, and it's been so full on out there. And the other thing I just said to Claire, so we sort of have a division of tasks that we all do, and the one thing that both of us did is I insisted that Claire actually take the weekend off, because we've both been doing insane hours, and I had set Sunday off. But of course, because both of us did that, it meant that all the inquiries and stuff, I did say to Claire this morning, I said, I don't know how far you've gotten, but I actually did all and it was like 60 something on the web. So I have actually a little pat on my back. That's what I did this morning, was power through those. Yeah, so we apologise to everybody that I know you're used to hearing from us so much sooner, but just to give you an idea, what I had with the weight on the web is usually it's about 2 to 1, so that means you would have used probably at least 120, 150 at your end.
Yeah, well, I've been doing my emails at night time, so I have to apologise if people are getting notifications at like 11 o'clock at night. Oh, I haven't woken anyone out.
Yeah, but, exactly.
It's when you get quiet time to be able to sit down and actually do it. Answer emails and stuff, but yeah, I'm chugging through them. Some of them I haven't quite got to yet, but yeah.
Yep. And hopefully, and if any of you have both emailed and also put it through the website, I hope you don't get different answers from us. We like to try and be on the same page most of the time, but sometimes we do. We do that. So because of those inquiries, I am actually just going to run through some sort of FAQ troubleshooting, because I would say, we were just saying before we went live, 50% of the ones that I cleared were for the two majority of questions. Question 1 was around either not being able to log in, things falling out of the cart, or password issues. And we have spoken to Zeal. So there's 2 things around that. Zeal have actually bumped up the optimization on the site yet again for us, to just sort of hope to try and potentially circumnavigate some of those issues. So we have been talking to them, which is our content management supplier. The other side of that too, though, that we do know is that you do get what I like to call memory gremlins into the back of your systems. And 9 times out of 10, if you completely power down your device, not just to put it in standby, but actually completely turn the whole thing right off and then turn it back on, we do find that fixes most of those gremlins, even if you're trying to get in your password. Because sometimes, particularly if you're using things like Chrome or some of those others, they have little password memory things in there that they do, and they can get clogged up. And so that is always a thing. And trying a different browser helps as well. So do those things first.
Don't let your computer autofill it. Try just typing it out yourself, because the autofill can cause all sorts of trouble.
Exactly. And sometimes too, the autofill may have actually, if you've put it in wrong once, the autofill will remember the incorrect password, even though you know that you've got your password right. And we can't actually see what your passwords are. So when we look in the system in the back, we can't see what your passwords are. So those, the only way, if you're wanting to change your password, you really do need to do it from your profile. So, or retrieve it. Do a retrieve password. So yes, so do definitely try and do that. And the other one is around delivery, and I mentioned it, I think it was yesterday, but the difference between when you get the email saying your parcel is shipped compared to when your parcel is tracked. And go, that's your cue.
So when you place an order, you get an order confirmation email that says, well done, you've placed an order, we've got it. And then it sits in various queues. You'll see sometimes your order status is changed to shipping. So that means it's gone into a queue here at Skeinz for us to ship it. It doesn't mean it's left us. The email, the notification you get when your order has left us has your tracking number on it. So that's how you know your order has left. So we are working extremely hard here. We've got 4 people every day in here packing orders, and I can tell you it is hard work, and we're slogging through it all. And it sounds like we haven't got very far, but we're talking a lot of orders, and we're currently today we hope to finish day 1 of the sales orders packed. And it's day 1 is our biggest day. It's always our biggest day.
Biggest day.
A lot of you will probably realize that with the trouble you had getting on the website. Yeah. So anyone who's sitting there thinking, oh, I ordered on Thursday and I haven't got my email yet, you should get it in the next day or 2. Yeah. So once we've got through day 1, it tends to go a bit faster after that.
Okay. Do we want to know why we've got a barking dog at the shop?
Sorry, say that again.
Is that a barking dog that I can hear? Because that.
No. There's a heater going.
Oh.
No? Oh, it might have been me. I clicked my pen. I'll stop.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. All right. Because I'm thinking, no dogs barking here. No, we will get in. And that first day is pretty crazy. And once we get through that first day hump, we tend to find things move a lot faster. So it does make a huge difference. Yeah, a huge difference. So do please be patient. We are getting it to it. I promise. Some of you too, I did actually notice on the inquiries this morning, some of you as well, and have noticed you may have received credits back onto your credit card. All will be revealed when your parcel arrives. What we do now is our system gets so overloaded and so bogged down that when you've got multiple people checking out in a cart at the same time, it doesn't have the ability to always remove things from carts, so it will oversell, and there's just nothing. They've tried, just a phenomenon that they really struggle with. So they are able to, so what we do is we just make sure we refund. So if you have received a refund, that's what it will be for. We'll do a refund back to your card. We don't muck around. We make sure we get that money back to you as soon as we can when we realize it. So then that way you can sort of go back and spend more money on the sale. That's what we used to do, credits and all sorts of things back in the day, but we just find that that's much easier, isn't it, and cleaner for everybody.
And if we were to do anything else, you'd be waiting till
exactly
next week or the week after before anything even happened. It's just the time factor is it means it gets done. You get it much faster than anything.
That's very cool. Anna's asking. Oh no, it wasn't Anna. There's someone was asking about who was it? Marianne. Someone just said. Oh, the sweater pattern, you mean this one, Marianne? I didn't knit this, and in fact, you've got me, as you can see, in my absolute sloppy around house clothes today. I didn't really realise what a mess I looked until we went live. But the good news is, Claire and I were talking about this for the first topic of conversation this morning was when we were getting redipped in the fountain of youth, and I have to say I won because I got the phone call this morning saying Friday. I'm like, yes. They did also say that it's because they got sick and tired of seeing me every day wearing hats. So yes,
I'm going to have to be grey for a bit longer.
Yeah, so very excited, but it just meant that I just threw on slobby stuff. This is actually not something that I knitted. This is, would you believe, this is the depth of the Maree wardrobe. This is the sweater that I've had, a cotton sweater that I have had for, I'm having to do some backward maths, nearly
just a long time.
30 years. I used to work back in the day in my misspent youth. My very first qualification was in pharmacy. So I do actually have some education, some not that you would know. And I managed a pharmacy in Auckland, and it was right next door, very dangerously, right next door to the Country Road outlet store. So this is from this is a classic country road top that I still have never gotten rid of because it's like, you know how you have those comfy tops that you like have forever.
Yeah,
That's what this is. So yeah, there we go. Okay, so I digress. Where did we get to? So that's where we're at with the sale, the packing. So we're packing going well. Of course, the next $6 million question, the next big question, is around the changes to the levels, which of course for those outside of Auckland was announced yesterday. And we have been having some toing and froing between ourselves and Brendan and crew. And we've actually made the decision that we're not going to open the retail store until Monday, which is primarily because we just need to get that time, didn't we? It's
get everything in place, yeah.
Yeah, the sale has been so huge. We don't want to divert. So at the moment, the full retail team are working, getting all the stuff in the warehouse and out. And we don't actually want to divert anyone from that. We want to make sure that we get everything cleaned up because the sale does end tomorrow. And we want to make sure that we focus on everybody that's already placed orders and we can get those out to you in a timely fashion. And we do actually need to get the shop and do some preparations to get ready in regards to requirements in level 2.5. Yep. So we just want to give ourselves some time to do that correctly. So hopefully we won't be there for too long. And when we do reopen on Monday, 10 a.m. Monday, it'll be reduced hours. So we are looking at just doing 10 till 2. So that means that if you've got a pickup in store, you should be by Monday, all the pickup in stores from the sale should be there. So then that's the other side of it too. The last thing we want you to do is to get all masked up and come out and we still haven't even gotten to it yet. So at least by Monday, it means that all those collections should be there. We're pretty darn close to.
You're putting the pressure on now.
I know. We didn't pre-discuss this first. No, so but that's the plan, and we can just get in there and just sort of hit the ground running from Monday. And fear not, we've actually got, part of the reason we need to actually a bit of time is we have actually got new yarns coming in. I know, right? Some really nice new yarns coming in. So we've got a new colour extension to a range, plus we haven't had a chance to really sort of get organised with the new Mahana colours yet, so we've got those. There are a few other little lovely things that we haven't even gone anywhere near, so you're not going to be missing out, which is actually a really nice thing. Really nice thing. Hey, do you want to see my progress on my Nanook?
You've done a lot more than me. I've just been doing swatches and stuff with mine.
I just wanted to finish that row so I could hold it up. Hold on. I know. All
right.
Look, I have sleeves.
Wow, that's really motoring along.
It goes so fast. Yeah, so I've got sleeves now. I'm now into the proper, there's the back at the body. Let's hold that up. There you go. I'm into the back now.
That's looking really good.
I know. It is so cool. I am really, I honestly, I cannot tell you. This is my last wound ball. So so for those who are just catching up, so this is the Kelly & Co, which you can get now. The Kelly & Co, which is our authentic Donegal tweed. So I'm having, so it's one of my jobs today. That's why I'm sitting at the kitchen table. I was good. I thought I would do inquiries instead of winding balls. But I'm having to wind balls on this.
Yep. Does still make that lovely noise?
Yes. I can't remember who killed it. Who killed it?
Me.
You did. Yeah, of course you did.
I had an accident with it. I dropped it in the warehouse in our old shop and it literally just went psh, and I thought I had found all the little pieces and put it back together, but there was one piece missing. Still works, it just was very clunky.
Yeah.
And it wiggles around. It winds a nice ball though.
Yes, with patience.
Yeah.
The other one winds balls so much better.
Yeah, it does.
I wonder where that is right now.
It's at my house.
Yeah, it is at your house, exactly, tart. Anyway, see what I have to put up with? I swear. All right, good morning. Okay, Lynn wants to know, do you have your pedometer on, Claire? Because Lynn knows
Oh,
exactly
I have done
how
that before. Yeah,
she'll know how many. She's getting a
yeah.
step counter, and you're certainly right about that, Lynn. Right, Amy is asking, I'm wanting a colour work contrast for Bandit D get Rapscallion. Yum. Would Imp or Scallywag work better? That is a really good question, Amy. I think Imp's the really dark one,
That's
isn't
the
it?
dark one, yeah. Not
And
quite black.
Scallywag, is that the grey one?
Ooh.
Hold on,
Yeah.
I am just pulling this up so I can have a look, Amy. Right. Oh, yeah, Scallywag is sort of the grey.
Great. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it would definitely work. The other colour too, actually, Amy, I would consider is Intrepid, which is the
Oh, yeah.
really dark inky blue. I think Intrepid and Rapscallion are really, really lovely together. Tomfoolery is also another one. Tomfoolery is so a blue, but it's like a richer, more sort of, it's not as inky. I think that also works too. So those are sort of a couple of colours, a couple of other randoms I'd throw in there. Or the other thing is depending on what you're wanting to contrast and do, and I better check it before I suggest it.
What are you thinking?
I was thinking Southlander.
Oh, yeah.
But then I know what the Southlander situation is like, so I
Hopefully
might need.
resolved soon, but yeah, it's pretty slim at the moment.
The pickings are exceptionally slim at the moment. The silver's back though.
Yeah, the silver's there.
The Southlander silver, or the oatmeal in the DK is the other option, Amy, that I would consider. So if you're looking at Bandit DK, Rapscallion DK, Southlander DK, and Bandit DK work really well together. If you're looking at
Sorry, the other one is the Chatswood.
Oh, in the Somerset, yeah, that would work. Or the silver. So Sport Weight will go with Little Bandit, and DK will go with. So those are a couple of options. I know Thunder isn't in the sale, but just giving you some more colour options. So that's what those are. Have you nearly? Anna, have I nearly finished? Yeah. So I'm on to that. So where I'm at now with my Nanook. So I'll hold it up there. That's it there. Heidi Kirrmaier. I'm sort of now. I'm here. So I've just sort of started the. I'm on the body now, and there's just some slight shaping that they're doing in the front portions either side for the body, and that's where I'm at. I'm on the final road home. So the only thing I do, I'm on an 80 centimetre cable, and with the weight of it, to be fair, I possibly, when I get back into work on Thursday, I may actually switch round to a 120 or 150 centimetre cable, just to, the 80 is a bit.
Once you get past that peak, it doesn't have the edging on it anymore, does it?
No, it has the edging all the way down.
You're going. Oh, it does have it all the way around.
Yeah. It's a 3-stitch selvage. It's actually a really, really nice selvage. So it's sort of like a 3-stitch slip. It's a slip stitch or wrap stitch selvage, but it has the visual effect of being like an I-cord. But it's well, it is. I guess it is a kind of an I-cord because it is actually a slip stitch and you pull it round. So it is a sort of a funny kind of an I-cordy thing. It's nice though. I like it. I think I'm going to steal it for other things. It's quite good.
Anna asked about the Southlander bulky. Yeah, all the Southlanders are currently being processed, and we're expecting them in lockdowns put a bit of a dampener on it, but probably October, November.
Yeah.
Hopefully earlier, but it just depends how the mill gets on with catching up.
Yeah, definitely. Angela's asking any yarns on sale that would suit Chika. I've done Chika and 12-ply bulky yarns, but you could do it in a 14-ply as well, and we do have some 14-plies actually in the sale. There's 4 of them, and I think they're called Luke, Roger, Kate, and I can't remember what the 4th one's called. Ruth, I think.
Is it warm?
Warm, yes, warm.
It's warm.
Yeah.
There's a range of colours under warm label.
Yeah, so there's 4 of those, and they're actually at a really good price at $7.95, 100-gram ball. And then if you didn't want to use that as your contrast, because they are quite vibrant shades, then you could do your contrast. You could do, if you wanted to, is you could double strand a DK together. That would, if you're going to use 14 ply, or if to be quite honest with you, I think our batch is really good in Chika, really good for Chika. So I know it's not in the sale, but again, batch and Chika I think are really happy.
What is the stitch tension for Chika? Could you do it in a mohair?
Oh, look at you.
Double strand the DK Whisper.
Yeah, I would do that with
like or something.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, could.
It would be like you'd get the bulk of it, but it wouldn't be too heavy.
Yeah, that would be really lovely. Because I remember I did my initial one on I think it's written for a 6mm needle.
Yeah.
Or 6.5. I can't remember. I know I did the first one I did on the needle size that they'd recommended, and I just found it too big for what she had written, and I got gauge, so I actually I went back a needle size and didn't change the size at all. And for the charcoal one I did, and I just found that was a much better gauge.
Yeah, well, I'm just imagining the mohair being so light.
Oh, the mohair
and got that wider V, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has, and actually the mohair, that DK mohair, the DK mohair with a 4-ply would be lovely. There you go. Oh, God, look at you. Look at you. There you go. That probably throws a cat amongst the pigeons now, Angela. Sorry. It's probably not been helpful at all. Yeah. Pat, yarn supply question. Is there a plan to have more black pearl? Ha! Yeah, well, no, those other. So we had the Hebe and the Warbler, which with the leftovers. Did they get done? They didn't get done.
Did what get done?
You know, so we had the Hebe and the Warbler in the sale.
Yeah, those were just using up leftover base stock.
Yes, and so no others got done on that leftover stock, did they? They just did the coup colours. So there we go. That answers our question. So we had a last little bit of base stock left, Pat, and then it's not a hard no, but it probably won't be in the plan for 2022. I'm quite confident about that, only because most of the plan for 2022 is in place, but it could be back in 2023. The pearl yarns are yarns because they're recycled, and they're recycled luxury blends. We can only do them when we get enough recyclable material at the grade that we need to do them, and that's why they tend to roll through every couple of years. I think there was about a 2-year gap between the first 2 batches of pearl.
And I know it can get quite frustrating for customers when it doesn't come. It's not a continuous supply.
Yeah.
So it gets quite tricky with the recycled blends like that.
Yeah, and see, Chatswood falls into this category, and Chatswood is a yarn that is so popular, and it's because all our recycled yarns, and Sockmetition included, all our recycled yarns is we pass the savings from the recycling on to you. So that's why you can buy Sockmetition even on sale at $7.95 for a possum yarn is just really good. So, and it's because of those savings. Yeah. So, and to be fair, part of the reason we do struggle with some of them is because Sockmetition gets priority over some of those other yarns to keep in steady supply, and because it's so popular, once it's gone to Sockmetition, and then we use the others afterwards. Yeah. So that's just how we roll. Everyone's here all our favourites are here this morning. Angela's just saying she's booked for a haircut and colour tomorrow too. I'm so glad you're not the only one, Angela.
I've got to wait 2 weeks.
Yeah, Caroline's is on Thursday. It sounds like all of us are on. So what was the first thing you do when you drop levels? No, forget takeaways. All us girls, we're off to the hairdressers. That's what we're doing. That's so funny. Solange has seen our TV ads. Yay!
Good.
That's good. Good to know they're there. What time does the sale end? Delene is asking. Yes, midnight tomorrow is the correct answer to that, Delene. So that means, so that's the beauty of it being online, is that you, yeah, if you are back at work tomorrow, you can still jump on. We have got, well, actually, thank you, Delene. Claire and I have just been having a talk about a bit of a tidy up. Do go back and check. Some sneaky 10 packs might get added. We just, Claire's just checking.
Probably later on.
Yeah.
Like I'll be doing one of those night sessions again.
Yeah, so that might be a check back tomorrow thing.
Yeah, check back tomorrow. Yeah.
A check back tomorrow thing. But I have just got this one here. I just wanted to remind you, this has gone on. I don't know where on the sale page it's sitting. I'll tell you actually, because it will only be really sitting in the sale page. I think I bumped it up the page so you didn't have to go scrolling 10 million.
You can just search the name though. If you just chuck in Pinker, it pops up.
I know, but you know. Oh no, there it is. It's on page 1. It's on page 1. Yeah, it's right next to the 14 ply chunkies. So it's after the Skeinz Merino. So this is because this is a Skeinz Merino. So this is our orb. So this is our orb. And it's actually that the colour wasn't right to standard for Blake Mono, so we Claire rejected the colour again.
Yeah, that's the second time.
Yeah, so that's why it's limited edition. Yeah, they did try and sneak it past us, which is why you guys. So this is first quality, other than the fact that the colour didn't meet the colour standard. So that's all that's wrong with it, and it's lovely. Orb DK. $5.95 a ball. So that's in the sale. So make sure you don't miss out on that one. Very good. Oh, Shani's saying she's excited. She's treasured. She's excited to seeing us all. We miss you too, Shani. We'll be really pleased to see you back. Very good. Oh, you guys are all here. Yeehaw. Joanne's saying she's got one of those ball winders stashed somewhere. Yeah, I really prefer my other ball winder, Joanne. That's now currently residing in Bayview temporarily.
It's all right. I'll bring it back at level 1. Yeah, I think
Margaret's saying Ashley has suggested I need a pedal-powered wool winder. I don't know, Margaret. Actually, you tell Ashley if he makes me one. There you go. Oh, funny. Right, very good. Yeah, you got Anna's question, Southland to Bulky. Yeah, it's taken. Oh, here we go. Christine, can you go over the difference between the yarn weight combinations of what they produce, lace weight and fingering to DK? Right. Yes. So it is one. It is one of those. Science. It isn't. Yeah, it isn't an exact science, but if you go. One of the most common combinations is that we see a lot now, because double stranding has become really prevalent, is a lace weight and or fingering weight yarn with a fine lace weight mohair, and they generally do knit that to a double knitting tension. Yeah. So you most commonly see that in designs. Angela Maree executes that a lot, as does Tin Can Knits. Yeah, so that is quite common. When you add a mohair to everything, the general sort of kind of rules of thumb get thrown out the window because of the bloom of the mohair and the effect that you're trying to achieve. If you were just stranding straight smooth yarns together, generally if you put some logic, people sort of think that if you put 2 4-plies together, for example, you're going to get a DK. Well, you don't. Funnily enough, you're going to get a 10-ply. And it's all around how the counts are worked out. So if we're actually doing this based on, and we work on what we call it, there's lots of different ways you can calculate a thickness of a yarn. And there are the 2 most common ways, either the metric system, which is what a lot of the mills deal with use, or the old tex count system, which is the old sort of British Yorkshire, coming out of the Yorkshire spinning mills, which is the latter. That's what we use, the tex count system. So if you, and that's just a series of numbers to denote how thick a yarn is. So generally, as a rule of thumb, the smaller the number, the thinner the yarn, which kind of makes sense, whereas the nanometer's a bit, and then you have like a hyphen, a bar rather, and then a number, and that denotes how many strands of something has been pulled in together. So a really good example of that would be a yarn like this, which is our merino. This lovely little pretty, oopsie, she drops it on the floor. Pretty little yarn here. And it's got, let me just unread. I'm going to unread, oopsie. Oh, there we go. There we go. And as you can see, it's really sweet. It's got 2 folds in it. This is a 4-ply. Oops, there we go. And there's 2 folds there. Now we know that this yarn is what we call a 300 bar 2. So 300 denotes its thickness, and bar 2 is the 2 strands. Now for 4-plies, if you put 2 4-plies together, so 2 300 bar 2s together, so two of these folded on each other, like that, the reason you don't get an 8-ply is because that then you've now doubled it. So that's actually gone from being a 300, it's straight mathematics, it accumulates mathematically. So it's gone from 300 bar 2 to 600 bar 4. Now a 600 weight yarn, tex weight yarn, is a 10-ply. So generally if you're in the 300s, so sort of 300 to around, or 300 to, yeah, to sort of 300 to 400 is, or is a 4-ply territory. With late sort of 3s to sort of mid 4s, you're heading into sort of sport weight territory. Round 500, that 500 zone is DK territory, and probably, so most of our DKs are around 480 to 500 tex. So just to give you an idea, 484 bar 4 is vintage, and 495 bar 3 is Perrindale and Southlander, and 500 bar 2 is Chatswood, from memory, isn't it? Yeah. So that's all our DK territory. And then once you start heading into the heading late 5s to 600, around that's where you're heading into 10-ply territory. And then once you head in the latter end of the 600s, that's when you're starting to head into, so 660 bar 3, 660 bar 4, for example, is our Southlander bulky. So that's when you're heading into those territories. So that's why when you go 2 4-plies, you get a 10-ply. If you go 2 DKs, you get a chunky, well, more than a chunky actually. So that's just how that works.
I mean, to hammer the point home, you can't go wrong if you do a swatch.
No.
You get a feel for the yarn, you get a feel for what the final fabric's going to look like, and you can see where your stitch count is going to fall and stuff like that. I know it's a pain in the butt because I don't tend to do it, but like for instance the Kelly & Co, that's all I've been doing is swatches just to see how it's going to work and how it's going to work with other yarns, and it's worth doing, especially for an adult's garment.
Yeah, how's it looking with the pulse, by the way?
It's looking good. I've just washed it. I knit it, so I swatched in the round. I've never swatched in the round, and I know I knit tighter in the round. So
isn't that interesting? A lot of people knit
because you don't do your fill row. Yeah. So I'm going to cut my swatch. Well, I'm just going to find time. But I'll cut it and see how it looks flat. Because I'm worried that I'll have a look at it. And I can give it to you to share on Diaries at some stage.
Yes, yeah, sounds good. Gail's asking, when is the Pulse Merino and the blue coming back? Soon, actually, Gail. It's on the water as we speak, which is exciting. When's that looking? It's looking like November, by the time it gets cleared.
Late October, early November. It just depends. Yes. There's a lot of delays with shipping at the moment. So.
Yeah, it depends on how long they keep the ship sitting out in the harbour, to be brutally honest with you. But that's the rough, but it is literally on the water. So, and we've got new colours coming. You heard it here first.
And
I didn't
yarn.
tell you that. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And the new yarn. Shh. They don't need to know about that just yet. Right. Dustland Shawl. Oh, I don't know that one, Susie. Hold on. Dustland Shawl. Oh, God. Okay. Right. Oh, this is new. Oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. Oh, okay. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Okay, so God, that's gorgeous. Okay, all right. Hey, should I can
Share
stick it up on the screen. I'll share it. There we go. There's an idea. Yeah. Okay. So that's it there. It's pretty. It's really cute. So it's saying a DK weight wool. He's knitting it. Oh, okay. Well, look, to be honest, the first thing that leaps to mind for me, so if you're wanting something with good definition, to be honest, the world's your oyster on that. If you're wanting something in the sale, that to me, I don't know about you, Claire, but screams Bohemia all day long. Does it not?
Yeah.
Totally screams
What's
Bohemia.
What's the tension on it?
The tension is a 4.5 millimeter needle, 20 stitch tension, or if you want to splash out, amazeballs would look amazing.
Yeah.
So the Kelly & Co would be good. The Bohemia would be good, or if you the other yarn, I would Sock Petition DK. Totally, Sock Petition DK would look amazing.
Yeah. The good thing with shawls or blankets is you can really play around with your yarn because it just changes the size slightly. The one thing you can't do it with is garment. Well, you can do it, but you got to actually you got to think about it. But if you're going to knit a blanket and you've got a DK pattern, you can go. The world's your oyster. You just got to take into account either add some more pattern repeats or know that it's going to come up smaller or bigger. It's great for the shawls are the same.
Yeah, definitely. So that's lovely. That is really, really, really nice. That's actually that to be and saying, I know we don't have a lot of shawls in the shop. That's actually quite a good one for the shop. Yeah.
Add it to your favourites.
Yeah, well, I'm just thinking for a certain yarn that's just coming, don't you? Yeah, we'll add that to, the list. Dustland Shawl. Yeah, I think so. Lynette saying, bought some Whisper double knit and beautiful cozy two-ply. Been swatching for the shoji, not looking good. Help. Right. I think it's because, I used Whisper Fine, not Whisper DK. So I'm thinking your Whisper might be a little bit whispery. So, but fear not. So you've got a couple of options with this, Lynette. Don't throw the baby out with the bathwater just yet. If what you can do is start swatching it, because even with the Whisper Fine, using the Whisper Fine and the Cozy, it is quite a firm tension for that. However, shoji is a very free form piece, so it's essentially a really long piece, and then you add a couple of collars, and then you do an origami foldy over. I don't know what sizing you're at, but what I would be inclined to do is you could then do a swatch and up your needle size. So at the moment you're probably swatching on the 4 millimeter, and it will be looking as tight as the hobs of hell. I would actually be inclined to increase your needle to a 5 millimeter, even potentially a 5.5, and see how that looks. Then measure it, and you may find that if you really like the look of that fabric, then measure that, swatch, and then you might want to jump back some sizes. There is a lot of sizing in shoji, so you could be able to move up and down. It is a loose worn garment anyway, so if you're sort of knitting, say, a middle size, if you up your needle size and then jump back to a smaller size based on your swatch, then you can use it tickety-boo. And unlike me, who is halfway through the 2.5 meters of fabric she needs to make the large size that she's doing, it will fly a hell of a lot faster for you. So yeah, so that was my advice. I would try it at 5 millimeter because you do want it quite firm for that definition. Try it at 5 millimeter, but you may even need to sneak up to a 5.5, but just see how you get on. So that will help with that. Gosh, everyone's chatty this morning. Oh, okay. Do you usually have Naked Skeinz non-machine wash merino? Amanda is asking. No, is actually the short answer to that, because part of the reason is because we haven't made a lot of merino non-machine washable yarns ourselves, so that's why we haven't had it, and we haven't got any sort of on the cards to do it. A lot of the indie dyers prefer the machine washable merino because of the way that it takes color. It takes color very intensely and very vibrantly, and that's what they tend to like. If you just want to do some dyeing from home, you could potentially, well, I don't think we've got any merino non-machine wash.
Well, you could do stock petition milk. You could do something over there.
Oh yes, you could do something with that, which is a very merino predominant yarn. Yeah. Guys, he doesn't have a ball winder. Which one is good? Well, the one I really like, Guy, we've got a couple. Have we got any Ashford ones at the moment, or are we waiting for them to coming back?
I just looked at showing out of stock online. I have. I'm looking at a thing on the wall. I don't think we do.
No, I don't think we do.
They sell really fast when we get them.
Yeah, so we have had the Knit Picks one and the Ashford one almost identical, like pretty much identical. Exactly. Yeah, you can struggle. I mean, they are pretty much identical, and they're the ones we really like. So they're quite they're about yo big, and they
wind like this.
Yeah, so this one cranks from down here. Whereas the Ashford, if you can imagine the Ashford ones, they wind from here, and the action, is that way, and it is a much smoother crank action. They hardly ever snag. Winding fine larger weight, like it will do 200 gram skein. There it is there. A 200 gram skein, no problem at all. As you can see, there's a really long shank through the center of the spool. It is just, and it tensions really well. Yeah, so when keep an eye out for those Ashford ones when we get them back in, because those are the ones that we really like. They are, it is so good. So good. So if you add a lace weight to a fingering, is it approximately a sport weight equivalent? Yes.
To a DK, wouldn't you?
Yeah, be closer to a DK. I would have thought so, to be fair. I mean, or
be sitting in there,
yeah, sort of. It will be sitting in that sort of fluid zone between the two, for sure. Can I see what is available online, especially double knits and greys? There's a whole.
Well, you've got orb mist. You've got. I'm not sure. You'd have to check these available. This is just off my head.
I know. So you've got these orb mist. I know the flight's out of stock. And I'm not sure these bandits got some. So the silver and Southlander. Actually, Pirrendale. We've got Skull Grey and I think Cloud and Pirrendale. I think there's the mist and the orb. There's Somerset and not Somerset. Sheffield and Chatswood is a natural grey.
Mist.
Yeah, urban. Yeah, so those. So if you just go up into the website and have it, you can
click on the double knit link. There's yarn by weight, and you can look through double knits.
We'll have all the double knits there, but those are just some off the top of our head. The guy's asking what's WPI. That's their wraps per inch, Guy, and it's a quirky American phenomenon, wraps per inch, and it's where they will wrap a yarn around a measure and see how many times you can wrap that in within an inch, and it's their way of delineating what the thickness of yarn is. To be honest, some people like a wraps per inch, some don't. I personally don't. I never use it, but
it's not very common here.
No, it's not particularly common, but it is quite common in the US, and I know that the US guide standards list wraps per inch. For that, thanks Kathy for popping the link to the ball winder up when we get it. Are you going to get some more merino soft baby foreplay? The answer to that is Pauline is most definitely yes. We're in a perpetual state of permanently having merino soft foreplay on order, and unfortunately we got pretty wiped out after Capital Fibre Fest, so we're just still waiting for those stocks to come back in. So, oh, there we go. Claire's already answered the reps question. Right. Okay. Very good. Have you got anything else on your list for today?
No. For anyone that's come in pre-level 4, we had a raffle in here for Red Cross. We decided to extend it for them. So we now drawn a month after we go to level 2, which is tomorrow. So it'll be drawn on the 8th of October. So anyone who wants to buy a ticket when we do reopen, come on in and get one. It's a massive basket. I think you've shown it before on Diaries, haven't you?
I have, and it's growing all the time.
Yeah, so as well, we're grabbing a ticket and supporting.
Yeah, what we're doing is whenever we have any little quirky extra bits and pieces that turn up, like last little bits of this and that, it's like, oh, Red Cross. It goes. So there's some really quirky bits and bobs in there. Actually, Lynn's saying, yeah, wraps for inch used by spinners and weavers. Yeah, that makes sense, actually. Wraps per inch for them. It's actually wraps per inch is probably a good one if you have done a homespun yarn and you're wanting to find out where that homespun yarn sits in terms of its thickness as you do a wrap per inch. Yeah, I didn't think of that, Lynn. Should have. Right, I think that's me. I'm going to probably whip out a newsletter for tomorrow morning, and just to remind everybody, it is the last day. And actually, speaking of last days, this is the last day for the Quarantine Diaries. I will try from Thursday. I will be back on Thursday with Skeinz Diaries as we normally do, and then I'm going to move back to our regular Mondays and Thursdays after that. And it's not that I don't love you, Auckland. I do. It's just that I've got other things that I want to do, and I've got a very dear friend who's been unwell, and I want to make sure I can go and see her tomorrow. So that's I'm prioritizing that to catch up with her. So that is what I'm going to do. So yeah, it's all good. Yeehaw.
We'll keep on chugging on with the packing.
We'll just keep on chugging on. Thank you, everybody, for being so supportive during this time. It is, it helps us too, to know that you're all there and asking your questions and keeping us, keeping us on our toes.
Everybody on here each day and everything.
Yeah, absolutely, and we do really appreciate it. So it'll be back to you. So actually, and I'm going to, but I do have a guest on Thursday, which I'm really excited about. I've got Cheryl Beckeridge from Wiseowl Knits, who did our cabled swancho that we just love. She's joining us from the US, and we're going to talk about some of her designs, which is great because she's got loads of designs on her own website as well as the ones she does for Cascade Yarns. So it'll be so good to catch up with Cheryl, and I'm going to be a little bit more disciplined and try and get guests on at least a couple of times a month with Diaries, and pull my finger and do that, because I think that is, you guys seem to have loved it. I've really enjoyed it, so we're going to do that as well. So have a great rest of day, guys. We will, as I said, I'll be back here on Thursday. Don't forget the sale the last day tomorrow, and and just be patient with us with those inquiries, and but we promise the yarn is coming.
Yeah, it's coming.
It is coming. Until then, take care. Bye bye.
See you later.